and welcome back to another episode of STC BTN. Today we'll be interviewing Lucy Sullivan to hear about her experience at the Sydney Writers' Festival, which all of Year 11 visited yesterday. So can you tell me a bit about the festival, what you did, what you saw?
So the Sydney Writers' Festival runs throughout May, and the 26th, which was the day we went, was a student-only day, so lots of different schools there. It was really exciting. So we went into a huge auditorium and we got to listen to 5 different writers speak about how they write, their process, what makes a story, and just general techniques for English. It was really insightful.
And did you have a favourite author who you like hearing their books?
Yes, I read Amy Kaufman's work, and to see her there with her series Illuminate and Aurora Rising was very fun, and it was great to hear her talk.
And what sort of stuff did she talk about? Like, did you pick up any advice or things that you might implement in your own writing?
Definitely. So I love writing, and hearing her talk about how she does her process and how she structures her story, works through different obstacles and how to structure a plot. It was super insightful and it was really, really helpful for anyone there who was an aspiring writer, and that includes myself.
Yeah. And there was also a lot of people asking questions, which I thought was pretty good. And did you ask a question?
I did ask a question. My question was about how to relate a plot to a character, and she gave me some recommendations of things to read and things to do to help that. And then there were a lot of other questions from everyone else, from all the different schools, about how the writers write, what makes them want to write, their inspirations, their favourite books, and it was just really interesting to see how similar writers are to readers.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So can you tell me a bit more about the authors?
Sure, so our first author, Toby Madden, he came in and he introduced the Sydney Writers' Festival to everyone, and he briefly introduced his books that he's recently released, and he focused on inclusive writing for LGBT youth, and I think that's really important. And then we saw a new author, Kay Kerr, and she talked about what it's like reading and finding representation for autism. All of her books include autistic main characters, and she thinks it's super important. And hearing how representation is important was very insightful. And then we had an Indigenous author come in and tell us about racism in Australia, Australian culture, and how to incorporate that into text and ensure that it wholly represents the Australian experience. And I think that's relevant to everyone. Following that was Amy Kaufman, and I already mentioned what she talked about, like writing in general and the sci-fi genre. And then we concluded with Sarah Ayub, and she talked about writing as an immigrant and seeing Lebanese representation within books, and how, once again, important representation is for everyone.
So it's a real mixture of different authors and different things discussed.
It was really insightful to see all these different things and all these different experiences come together and how they're reflected in writing.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of STC BTN, and stay tuned for more exciting episodes this term. And thank you so much, Lucy. It was really exciting, and I'm so glad you had such a fantastic experience.
Thank you, Isabella.
Bye.